My lords, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to episode 40 of the Transport Fever 2 Deluxe DLC series. Today's episode starts off looking at the cargo airport we set up in the previous episode at the goods factory by the small town of Irving. Just seen one of our planes take off with a full load of cargo, and we can see a second plane that is taxiing towards the cargo terminal to also depart with a full load, and of course they are heading on to Sioux Falls. Today we're going to continue growing some of the untouched towns that we haven't done much with, or if anything with, so far. And we're going to be heading over to the south side of our map and picking on a few of the towns over there and starting to get some of the cargo brought in that they are requesting. So let's bring up the user interface. The year is 1968 and we are all set to go. So let's zoom out, jump over the river and then head on over. Mind the lag there, it's very zoomed out, there's a lot going on. Yes, head on over here. And the focus of our attention today is going to be this small town of West Jordan. As we can see, West Jordan is completely untouched and it requires both goods and bricks. We've unlocked a new Alco reskin, and an EMD, there's one there that I clicked through a little accidentally. New passenger wagons, that could be interesting. Metro liners, very good indeed. So back to West Jordan then. So we need goods and we need bricks. We have bricks just over this ridge here at the Murrieta Brickworks, and we'll very simply connect that together. It is already linked, however, as we can see, the route that we could take, it's a little bit out of the way, isn't it? We could do that a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently by having a tunnel system through this ridge line here and connecting into this node right here. So what we're going to do first of all is the road that leads out of West Jordan is going to see a nice upgrade to the modern style freeway that we now have, like that. That'll enable faster speeds. I think we'll keep a lot of this here, a lot of this curving as it heads up into the mountainside, because that's quite a pleasant drive actually. But at some point, perhaps somewhere around here, we'll have a junction that leads into a tunnel, comes through, emerges over here and winds its way down into the brickworks. And then we can set up a delivery line from the brickworks running all the way down on this new road that we're about to build into West Jordan. So let's get started. So if we start, I don't know, a reasonably flat area, perhaps this area here, and just have a level junction to start with, like that, keeping the same height as the road what we're connecting into. And then we'll snake a tunnel through the cliffside. At this point we will allow the gradient change to occur, and we want to emerge like that. Keep the tunnel reasonably straight. In fact, we can probably send it down maybe just one step like that. Okay, so we've not quite come out of the cliffside yet. Let's have you stay level, and we'll go to about, I think if we go to there, and then from here, even though we're coming out of the tunnel pretty quickly, we'll just push it back even further, like so. Just bring that road back a little bit, and then at this point we'll remove that gradient constriction, allow the game to pick the best gradient to meet the land, snake our way down the side of the hill, like this, and we're pretty much there. Reasonably straightforward, nothing to worry about there. I don't think. It looks pretty neat and pretty nifty. It would be a decent drive. You wouldn't see much as you go through the tunnel, of course, but then you get a nice a nice view as you come down here and head into West Jordan. Hopefully eventually West Jordan will grow and have some high rises, so as you emerge through this little valley here and round this corner, you can see the high rises poking up, and I think that would be quite a nice and quite a pleasant sight for the drivers to enjoy. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want is the drop-off point, isn't it? So we can see where the bricks are needed in the town, and I think what would have them do is come down here, come along here, and come up this way, maybe drop off there. What we'll also do while we're here is upgrade these narrow streets to something a little wider, like that. In fact, we could have them come this way, couldn't we? Yes, we could. So let's use a waypoint there, just to make sure the trucks do come down this way and don't come down here and then do a U-turn. And then they would head all the way back through the tunnel we've just made over here. We could expand this cargo station right here, but I'm of a mind to build a dedicated one on the other side of the industry. Something like this. There we go. And that just means we're not overtaxing this and the junction isn't getting too busy. So let's set up this delivery line. So we're coming from what is known as Lower Murrieta. We're coming via this waypoint right here and to the drop-off point there. Let's change the colour so it's red to match the bricks that the trucks will be hauling on this new route. We'll not have them wait for a full load, they can just pick up anything. If they run empty a couple of times it won't be the end of the world. And we'll quickly name it, and this will be the West Jordan Bricks Delivery. Perfect. We have a vehicle depot right here which we will make full use of. So let's buy ourselves some vehicles, sticking with the MAN trucks for this. Another Cine cruiser bus, we might have a look at that in a few moments. An MAN SL192 coach, a HC SRN6, that looks like, is it an aircraft or a boat? I can't tell. And we have Peterbilts, some proper, in air quotes, American vehicles right there. So I think we might want to go straight for the Peterbilts. I think these carry everything, yeah they do. And they have a superior capacity. The speed's pretty much the same. They also have higher power, and that's going to be handy for climbing these routes, climbing these hills here. So we'll go for this. It's quite a route, so I think we might start with 10 of them. We'll increase the maintenance because we can afford that luxury now. What have I purchased there? I've purchased the wrong trucks, haven't I? Yes, I have. Oh, what an idiot. Anyway, let's put them all on the line anyway. And then we can just replace them over here. So replace with the Peterbilt. That's better. I think at this point, before we go any further with anything else, we'll open the vehicle manager, set it to just show road vehicles and any of our trucking lines. Because the Peterbilts haul any commodity at all, we can very quickly go through and swap them all out to these brand new big beefy American looking road vehicles. Just making sure we click every single one. There we go. So a bulk swap out, 90 million for the lot, not a problem. Give them all very high maintenance as well because again we can afford to do that. And there we go, bit of a convoy coming here as we can see. Nice to see the different colour cabs. Okay, so that's the first phase taken care of. Obviously the bricks haven't arrived yet, but they'll be on their way pretty soon. This is going to have another benefit, of course. It's going to prompt this industry to expand even further, which is going to have a nice effect downstream at our quarry over here. So this can still expand to one more level as we can see. And we have the scope, we have the capacity in terms of the trucks. They have kind of phased into one another thanks to the upgrade, but that's not too much of an issue. We can live with that. Now let's head back to West Jordan, because we now need to look at bringing in some goods. We are producing goods in the local area. This is over here at the Clearwater Goods factory. It's probably a little bit too far to cover with the trucks, even though we have the new beastie trucks. So the question is, do we want to cover it with a rail service, which would work of course, or do we want to cover it with another air cargo service? And if we were to do that, we would just use the small airports and the smaller aircraft, because it's only going a short distance. I'm quite partial to using the small airport myself, simply because we have a lot of activity over here as it is already, and laying in I should say, a new train line and all that infrastructure that goes along with it, it might get a little bit too messy. So let's try it with an aircraft. We can always come back later on, of course, and change it out for trains if we absolutely have to. But we shall see how it performs initially, and then we can make that decision a little bit later on. So let's have our airport. It's a shame you can't change the side at which the terminal building is located. Right, let's have it. Now if we have it there, we don't have the range. We might be able to give it the range if we put another road access point along the back side of the industry. So let's try that first of all. It only needs to be a small road, because we're not actually going to be running down here with any vehicles. It's just to trigger that access and hopefully trigger the link between the two. Let's see, do you now reach? Yes you do. Perfect. So Athens Airport, a nice small and compact freight airport there. We're now going to need to build the same somewhere in West Jordan. We have a lot of space over here, so I think perhaps putting it over here would be ideal. It's close to town. We've got a nice flat open space as well to work with, and we can easily connect it in to the road network nearby. So let's give active connection there. Connect that in. It's a bit angular, it's not very smooth or free flowing, but it's not a problem. You have some coverage, but as we saw a few moments ago, if you noticed when we were looking at West Jordan, the cargo is needed over here, not up here. This is residential. So the residents might get a bit grumpy about the noise pollution from the aircraft that have just appeared on their door. So we'll have to apologise to them for that. What do we have here? The Alco C628PC. The reverse variant. The Metro North Railroad Wood M1A. And that's your lot. We will look at these trains a little bit later. For now, let's get focused on bringing in these goods that we need. So let's give a road, let's put a road point, a truck station there. And let's connect it in ourselves manually. That looks fairly nice. Now the unload point is going to be, let's have them come down here, come through here. Let's have our unload point there. And then let's give them a waypoint there so they go around this way. Or what we could do, actually, yeah, let's do something like this instead. Let's put waypoints there and there. Go to the street tool and connect that to that. It's a bit curvy. It doesn't really need to be curvy. It's a bit steep as well, actually, now that I see that. I wasn't quite aware of how high that hillside was. But it'll work. It doesn't look too bad. If we blend the hillside off a little bit, and have the rest of the land rising up gradually to meet the road, it might look a little bit nicer. Yeah, that's looking a bit better. We'll keep it at that. That's good enough. Let's get this trucking line set up first of all. So if we're coming from West Jordan north, what we want them to do is to come this way and then this way to that stop and then back down and to the airport. Let's colour it that sort of colour. That's roughly the colour of the goods. And give it a name. West Jordan Goods Delivery. Let's get ourselves now a road depot for West Jordan. We don't have one. And we'll pop it on the end of the street there just to tie everything together. So we'll go back to the Peterbilt, the Peterbilt 359. Now we're not going to need a lot. This does have a high capacity. It's not going too far. And I think we might get away with just 2 of them. Give them some nice maintenance. Give them a paint job. Put them on that line. So they're going to be running empty for a while as per, which is not the end of the world. The next line is of course the cargo line, the air freight line. So we come from Athens Airport. And where are you? Oh, you're up here. Over to the West Jordan Airport. We'll have them just take whatever load they can. We won't specify an amount actually. Ideally soon they will start getting a full load anyway, just because of the output from the industry, but we shall see. So nice and simple right there. And this will be the what do we want to call this? This will be goods. And it's Athens to West Jordan, spelled correctly, there we go. And we'll keep it the brown colour, it doesn't really matter too much. Let's get ourselves some vehicles. So we want anything that can take goods. And this is our lot with the looks of it. Is that really the lot? No, I suppose it's because it's only picked the small ones because it's a small airport. That makes sense. So we've got 14's the highest. It's also got the highest speed as well. So we'll go for the Bristol freighter. And I think 2 to begin with. We might want to increase that later. So the goods should now be registering over here. Consumers West Jordan. It still says none. You do have that. You do have a connection there. Yes. Where did our aircraft go? We didn't assign them to the line. So they can carry goods, can't they? Let's just double check this. Details. So manage vehicle, that's what I want to do. Small, using the Bristol freighter. All cargo type set, so they can carry goods. So that's not the problem. Why is it not picking up West Jordan's demand? So that's going over to there. We have the trucks which can carry all coming over here. That is a truck point that's connected. That's got the coverage at West Jordan. That's a little bit bizarre. Yep, the airline is coming here. I didn't click another airport or something silly. Not entirely sure why this isn't immediately registered West Jordan as a consumer. Maybe we'll try different aircraft, perhaps. So we want cargo, small. Let's try instead the Douglas C-49 Skytrains. Has that made any difference? Consumers, West Jordan. I think it's still not picking up West Jordan as a consumer. Do you definitely reach? So you definitely reach. Yeah, you've got reach. What I might try, might not work, and I'm not convinced it will, but is bringing this in a little bit closer, maybe like that. Don't think it should make a difference. In the meantime, we've unlocked the Amtrak phase and day 1, as we can see. Let's just link all that together a little bit differently. Right, so yep, you're definitely linked. You are definitely linked. But you're not seeing West Jordan as a valid consumer. I wonder if I set the Peterbilts to pick up something other than the goods. Let's see. West Jordan goods delivery. Manage the line. No, you're free to pick up anything, and that does include goods, as we could see. Let's just tell them that's what they're picking up. I don't think we should have to, but we'll try it. Right, we'll come back to that, because I'd like to look at some of these new trains. We've got new tank cars, we've got some new passenger wagons, a little further back if you remember. I think I'd like to take a look at those, so let's go to the line manager, let's bring that up. We want just our trains. Now here's all our passenger services, as we can see. That's not got the correct name, that should be RC rather than T, so let's just quickly change that. There we go. So out of our passenger services then, which start here with the main line, which is a profitable one. We'll look at this one here, the Norfolk to, I guess is that going to Knoxville? Yes it is. This main line here. Let's see if we can do something with this one. First of all, I'm going to give them a third train straight off the bat. And now we're going to edit 2 of them and see if we can improve them. Because we've got new locos and new wagons. Let's look at the passenger wagons. We have the West Rail West Fleet. They are the fastest and the biggest capacity that we have available. So let's go with these ones. We'll colour them the same colour as the line. So we'll match as close as we can. So we've actually increased the capacity, as we can see. We've also increased speed. So 117 is obviously being dictated by the locomotive itself, because we know that this can do 124. Do we have any faster locomotives available? Let's just have a look through them all and remind ourselves what we do have available. Obviously we're not going to be using a shunter. I'd like to avoid using the steam if possible, especially on our passenger services at this point. 117, what are we looking at? We're looking at 124, aren't we? So hopefully we can get higher than that. Let's just have a look at some of these new ones down here. They're all 102s. We've got 117s here. They will be the same because they're just reverse variants. They're going to be slow. I guess they would be as well because they're shunting units. Pennsylvania Railroad is only 105. New Haven EP5 is actually quite poor at 87. These are shunters, so we're not going to get speed off of them. You're 117. You're only 55, but we don't use steam anyway. Do we have any high speed ones down here? It doesn't look like we're going to. No, we don't. What about these fellows here? Of course, we still have to check the multi-units after this as well, so we'll have to keep that in mind. No, so nothing too exciting there, or nothing that I'd say is better than the Alco. Let's look at the multi-units. So they're more of a pace unit, as we would call them in the UK. So we might want to swap some of our local services for these ones, Metro Liners or the Buddha M1A. Let's see, I think, yeah, it looks like the superior option remains. I mean, that's 117. I think there were a couple. Let's look at, let's just, no, we're not looking at steam, we're not looking at it, let's look at the diesels. So 117 is what we have at the minute with the Alco. So hopefully we can find something a little bit faster, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to. It might be worth just sticking with the Alcos. Yeah, I think it's looking like that's the best thing to do. Yeah, that's also 117. So let's get the Alco multi-unit back in place. Let's put it at the front, of course. And we may as well just swap out the carriages if nothing else. So let's swap those out. That's far too many. And let's just do this new one as well that we just purchased, which is this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So I think for our passenger services, we will go through and swap out the new carriages on all of them. So let's just select them all. You are not using a multi-unit. You're not using a multi-unit. Knoxville to Clarksville doesn't use a multi-unit. Carrollton to Rockford, I think you do use multi-unit if I remember correctly. Yes, you do. So we'll keep you separate. Right, Clarksville to Haywood. Are you multi-unit? No, you're not. You won't be. Nashville, Carrollton, are you a multi-unit? No. The airport shuttle, I think, is a multi-unit, so we won't include that one. You're not multi-unit. New buses again. You're not multi-unit. You're not. I think Rockford to Green Bay might be multi-unit. Let's see if we can see it on the list here. Yes, it is. So let's unselect that. Yeah, that's all of them. So let's edit all vehicles. Some of these aren't going to have colour schemes because it's just too much faff to go through and change every colour scheme as we're working. So let's just replace like for like in terms of total carriage amount. So if they've got 3, they're having 3 of the new ones. If they've got 2, they're having 2, and so on and so forth. So this could take me a little while. So what I'll do, I'll put a cut in at this point, and we'll pick it back up once this is done. Okay, so that's now the bottom of the list reached. 238 million for all of those new carriages. Let's modify them all. Perfect. Now there's a couple of multi-units we want to, in fact let's just select up, yeah, deselect everything, there we go. A couple of multi-units we want to do as well, isn't there? So Rockford to Green Bay is a multi-unit. You're not. New Haven to Haywood is not. The shuttle is a multi-unit. You're not. You are, in theory, because you're a Pioneer Zeta. But not what I'm thinking of here. Which else was it? Knoxville? No. Carrollton to Rockford? Yes, it was you, wasn't it? I think that was all of them. And we'll replace all of these with some new multi-units. They're all electric. They're diesel. Can we? Yeah. Do we want 1 or 2? I think 2. It's probably overkill in terms of capacity, but that's what we'll go for. Oh, there we go. They've just popped into existence. Wonderful. Let's have a look at these, shall we? I did consider the electrics, but I don't think all of our rural lines are electrified. So instead we've gone for the diesel Metro liner, the Metro North commuter railroad, as we can see on the front there on the livery. And away it goes. It should get up to speed pretty quickly. It did have an excellent speed rating, or excellent power rating, so we should see that pick up speed nice and quickly. As we can see, it is overkill for the amount of passengers using this service. We can always fine tune that later on. Any progress on West Jordan getting supplied with goods? No. So what have I missed? So you're fine. You are a cargo airport. Yes, you are. Oh, we do have some being... it must have just been a bit slow. Yeah, there we go. It's coming in now. Not sure what the problem is or what the problem was, but it seems to be okay now, so that's great. Have these actually got anything on board? They do. 1 full load and almost a full load. Have you dropped any off it? No, you haven't. Never mind, that's fine. Okay, so I think that's enough for episode number 40. It's a natural point to leave it. Oh no, one more thing before we do go. One more thing. Let's have a look at least at these buses that we've just been picking up. So onto the road vehicles. All our buses are at the top, grouped together nicely. Let's select, in fact, first of all, let's just do it with 1, or yeah, just 1, and we can compare 2 side by side. Let's see, replace the vehicles, passengers. So what are you using? You've got the Scenic Cruiser, haven't you? Everything else I think is using the Fishbowl. What do we have there? Southern Railway Shunters, another Shunter. Some more diesel units there. Nothing that was really piquing my interest. So the MANS L192 is a new one at 50 miles per hour. Our capacity is pretty low. Only 12 on that. That's pretty poor. That's also poor. What are most of our I know the. What are you? You're using the scenic cruisers as well. Are you all using the scenic cruiser? No, you're not. What are you? What, the Santa Clara Fish Bowl? Yeah, these. That's actually. I think we'll stick with what we've got for now. Actually, yeah, we'll stick with what we've got for now. So what we'll do then, we'll pause the date progression here, and we'll go for a cab ride. What do we want to go on? What shall we go? We could suppose we could. Do we have a multi-unit about to leave Carrollton? No, we don't. Where are you going? You're going to Nashville. You're a main line. No. Is that a multi-unit just coming in? It is. So I think what we'll do, we'll just let the game fast forward a little bit. And as this guy, do you go all the way? No, you're the one that only goes to Rockford. I thought we had one that went all the way to Green Bay. Maybe it comes from Nashville. Let's have a look. Nashville to Carrollton. Are you the one that stops off at... Yeah, you are, aren't you? Okay. I think that'd be better served by a multi-unit, you know. This one, not that one. The Nashville to Carrollton stopping service. I think we'll swap it out for a multi-unit. I think it's you. Yes, it is. So let's just have a look. What are they taking at the minute? 84. Okay. So we know that 2 of the Metro North Railroad multi-units will exceed that, and the speed is pretty much the same. So I think the Hiawatha's do 99-ish as well. So similar speeds, but greater capacity and better acceleration. So let's just pause it while we get comfortable on board, and I think we'll go all the way to Carrollton. Oh, okay. That's I'm not sure how I feel about that. There was a similar cockpit layout on the previous series. I think I likened it to the internal view that you can have on Kerbal Space Program, because that's come straight back to my head again. Anyway, let's get on the front. We'll want to be outside and see what's going off. So I hope you've enjoyed the episode. As I said, I have got the next... I said it a couple of episodes ago now, but just to remind you all, I do have the next season or the next series ready in my mind. It's going to be a little bit different, but it could be a lot of fun. Like I said, it is going to be different, but I think, something a bit unique, shall we say. So obviously more to follow on that in a few episodes' time. We've still got this series has still got some legs in it, so we're not rushing or anything. But I do have it lined up in my head, ready to go. Not sure, I've not done a proof of concept yet. I might do that actually, just to make sure it would work okay. But we do have options available if it doesn't. But yeah, I hope you are still enjoying this series. As always, your support, comments and feedback and the likes always welcome down below. And as always, a very special thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. Your generosity is deeply appreciated. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, all that remains for me to say is, as always, take very good care of yourselves. It is ta-ta for now.